Just if you're on the fence, take the plunge. Like, this has changed my life, and I would never go back. Never. So if you're on the fence, take the plunge. I just want people to know that.
Hello my honeys, it's Emmie. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmie. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the 8-week Slim on Starch program, where you and I work together and with my team so that you can lose weight on a plant-based diet, specifically one where you're eating a lot of carbs and starch like potatoes and rice and beans and oats and all the good stuff. So if you're interested in that, go ahead to healthyemmie.org or just click the link that is in the down bar. Also make sure that you hit subscribe and you turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified every time the freshest news on plant-based weight loss is coming at you live. Today is part 3 of my interview with my Slim on Starch client, Liz. Now, before Liz and I started together, Liz had a really good idea of what a plant-based diet looked like, and she had done it before. And the diet that we worked on together was one that she had done before, but she wasn't able to stick to it. It wasn't sustainable. It was so much work. She had all these recipes that she had to make, and she was looking for something simple that she could stick to for life that would get her the results that she was looking for. And through our work together, we worked together for 8 weeks, and it turned out to be so much more than what she thought she was going to get through our work together. And that's what we talk about in this video. So not only was Liz able to lose weight to take care of her arthritis, but also, as we'll talk about in this video, Liz's husband in just 3 or 4 weeks lost about 12 pounds. Her daughter, who is grown, is an adult, her adult daughter lost 4% body fat, and Liz took care of her insomnia. And it's just so unbelievable, the progress that she made through our work together and the ripple effect that she had on those around her. So Liz is a mother and a wife as well, and so I wanted to chat with Liz about a few things, starting with what does it look like when you guys sit down for dinner? Because a lot of people, this is a very big roadblock for them, as they say, I want to do this, but I have a family to feed, and I'm not going to make 2 separate recipes, and it's just so much easier for us all to eat this one pot thing. And if that's something that you're struggling with, then keep watching to see what Liz does to navigate that. Liz also talks about how she actually made it easier for herself and her family as well to be eating what she was eating, and it was harder what she was doing before. She thought that what she was doing before was easier, just having everybody eat one pot meal, but then she realized that this was actually so much easier to follow this lifestyle and do it. And that's what we do through the program, is really set you up on a structure that's so simple and so easy to stick to that it's so much easier than what you were doing before. And as a byproduct of that, her husband lost weight and she regained the energy to be with her kids. And then finally, we talk about Liz's insomnia and how she overcame that. So keep watching and let's hear from Liz.
You have a good husband for sure. And that's a perfect segue into what I wanted to chat about next, which was, what does it look like when you and your family sit down for dinner at night?
Well, my husband saw what I was going through and how happy I was, and just, it affected my emotional well-being as well. Just happy and more patient and calm. And so, yes, this is the calm version of me, but he saw that and he got on board as well. And he's lost 12 pounds in the last 3 to 4 weeks, I think. And he doesn't eat perfectly. He's still a meat eater, so he'll still throw, something in there. But, yeah, so when we sit down, sometimes I'll have a meat component for those who want to eat it. But for the most part, we just eat a lot of whole food, rice, chickpeas, corn. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. And with it being summer, we're doing a lot of corn on the cob and watermelon. And I think, too, we've gotten rid of the idea that it has to be this huge production for dinner. It's just food.
Yeah. And you have the foundation there, and then based on individual preferences, needs, wants, whatever, people can add in what they want to add in. It sounds like that's what you do.
Yes, absolutely. And that ends up being so much easier than before. So much easier. Yeah.
A lot of people think it's easier that they just make like one pot recipe and then everybody serves from it. Why is it easier than what you were doing before?
Well, because like I'll throw the rice in the Instant Pot, and then I'll just throw some vegetables either in the steamer, or we'll do a dry stir fry type thing, and then I don't even really mix. I say the sauce is the boss, but I don't even really mix up a sauce anymore. Like last night for dinner, it was like rice, broccoli roasted in the oven that had a little like tamari on the top and some onion powder. It was like the easiest thing ever. And then that was the flavor component in the meal. And then edamame, and people just threw the bowl together and threw extra stuff on if they wanted it, and that is exactly what it looks like. And it's delicious. It's amazing, but it's delicious.
I love it. That's
the way mostly we eat. Like today where we live, the amusement park is open. They're doing social distancing through different things. So we have tickets, we have a time to go, and they allow you to bring food in the park. So today I'm bringing potatoes.
Oh, I love
carrots and watermelon, and then you go put your cooler under a tree, you go do your rides, and then you come back and we're going to sit down to whole food at the amusement park.
I love it. And you can go on a ride afterward, whereas everybody else, they eat their corn dog, they're like, I'm not getting on that ride.
Exactly right. And I'll be able to, with my teenagers and my married daughter and her husband, I will be able to run and do the rides all day long. We're planning on closing the park down, and I have the energy for that. Whereas last year, I didn't. We spent half of the time, mom sitting at the table while the kids were running on the ride because I was exhausted. And I can't thank you enough. Sorry.
No, you thank yourself. You did it. I always say, I give out the information. I can help you and tell you what I would like for you to do, but you're the one actually doing it. So thank yourself. Did you realize last year why you were so exhausted?
I did, because of that plant-based knowledge that I'd had years before. I did know why I was exhausted. And the crazy thing is I was even dairy-free last year because I developed a dairy allergy. I think that was a lot of what was going on with the arthritis. So I was even dairy-free, and I was confused as to why I was still feeling awful. I cut out the dairy. I barely have gluten. I mean, I'm eating tortilla chips by the giant bag, but why do I not feel good? It was the craziest thing.
I ate an entire bag of tortilla chips, but I washed it down with an orange, so I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, exactly. So I'm plant-based.
These are vegan.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was. And so I knew that was probably part of it, but I had no idea the extent that the processed food was ruling and ruining. I mean, really, it sounds melodramatic to say ruining, but ruining my life, because I was not spending time with my kids, and they're almost all out of the house now. And so I only have that short time to run around and be the mom that is on all of the rides all day with them, and not sick and tired. So
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So the last thing that I want to touch on, I remember you coming into the chat, and you're a very talented artist, so you're in high demand, you have a lot of work, and there was one scenario where you were very stressed because you had a lot on your plate or on your palette, and you had a lot of work to get done, and you said, normally in these situations, I would turn right to food, but I'm not this time. How did you, because that is such an immediate reaction. It's almost like a fight or flight response for some people as the stress comes and they go straight to the bag of chips, the tortilla chips or the Snickers bar, whatever it is. What was different this time around?
So it was huge. We just started. And so I'd gotten through that first week of throwing a temper tantrum mentally and just like always having an orange or just something that I knew was a treat by myself. And then I had an opportunity to do a live stream drawing that you can find on YouTube. I'll put that up on my Instagram so you can click on it if you want to. But so I had that opportunity that I had to prepare for immediately. And then I was doing a step-by-step magazine article, which is huge because each time you go through the painting, every single stage has to be beautiful. And for most of us artists, the middle stage is really ugly. It's like having a middle school child. The behavior's bad, like the painting is bad. And so for each stage to be beautiful, it was like doing 6 separate paintings, and I had like a few weeks to do it. And these are portraits, so it's not, it was rough. So my big secret was I took a big bag of apples into the studio, and I said, okay, if you are really hungry, you'll eat an apple. Because an apple for me is like, it's kind of sweet, but it's not something that you really want to eat all the time. You know, it's not like an orange. I could eat oranges forever now, and or raspberries or whatever. So I had a big bag of apples in the studio, and I thought, okay, if I'm really hungry because of the time crunch, I have to take the gloves off. I have to make sure everything's clean to eat the apple. Am I really hungry? And so just those 2 things, giant bag of apples, and am I really hungry? And I think that's why when you go through my food journal, you'll see a snapshot of an apple and an apple and an apple, because it was like, that is what I'm going to eat. And that was huge for me. And to be able to go through that, and I would also, while I had that going, usually I listen to music in the background. I did listen to a bunch of your videos on the private Facebook page, because then I was learning, and I wasn't like, I was keeping that mindset while I was painting. So that is what I did.
Liz, you look so happy. You're glowing. And I love that it's had a ripple effect. You've had a ripple effect on your family as well, because for those watching, before we hit record, Liz shared with me something about her family, and I would love if you shared that again, so that people that have families of their own can be inspired about what has recently happened with your husband.
So my husband lost the 12 pounds since he got on board. And then my daughter, who is married, of course, does not live with me. She has dropped 4% body fat. She and her husband have been eating, I say clean, but it's not, it's a different kind of clean, but they've been eating this way for the last, I don't know, just few weeks. And to see her glowing, and this is the one with the angioedema, and she hasn't had issues in, I don't even know how long. She just doesn't have any issues. So yeah, it's been amazing. And it's wonderful because today she's bringing food that I can eat too. And so when we sit and have our picnic, it's, I don't have to worry about.
Did your husband just sort of, because that was the food you were making, he just started to eat more plant-based foods?
Yes. Yeah. Because I kept having that, having so many vegetables with my meals, and then he'd take his tiny portion, and you can't help but see that your wife has a plate that's like half vegetables, and you have this tiny side. And so I think that was it, but also just I have had insomnia for years and years and years. I think we were talking about the other day, and I'm almost 30 years on having insomnia. And so I've tried all kinds of medications, behavior modification, everything. And this is really, truly the thing that has helped me have good, deep sleep. And that's another secret. So having that wonderful sleep, and then the energy that I have, and just getting up early because I don't need to sleep anymore. Naturally I wake up way before my alarm. Sometimes it's 5 a.m., which for all my insomniacs out there, that you're sleeping until like 10 or 11 because you're not until 3 or 4. And so to have that clock change and go to where it needs to be, this is the key. This is worth it for the insomnia alone. People pay the same amount for like sleep help. So,
and
I got all this other stuff on top of it. Oh yeah. Yeah. So if you have insomnia, this is what you need to be doing. You need to hire Emmie. You'll probably have to cut that part out.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much. This has been this is a great way to spend my morning. I could talk to you forever. So thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to say to the people listening? I know that you've inspired a lot of people, and just looking at you, people are like, oh, I want to do what she's doing. Is there anything else that you want to say?
Just if you're on the fence, take the plunge. Like, this has changed my life, and I would never go back. Never. So if you're on the fence, take the plunge. I just want people to know that.
Thank you, Liz. All right, say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in my next video.
Woo!